What's up, you mother truckers? This is the Don't Cuss edition because my daughter's in the room. Actually, I still cuss in front of her. I probably shouldn't, but me and my wife have a horrible mouth. Luckily, she's not picked up on what a lot of those words meant yet. It's probably time to kick it into high gear. But that's beyond the point. I'm here to do my good buddy. Can you not push Tyler's mic all the way up? Okay. This is going to be a fun review. She's going to be here. Review, top 5? Yeah, we're here to do Josh Sanders, my good friend Josh Sanders' top 5 movies that take place on a train. And I have one that's kind of a slant movie that you could be like, hey, now, I don't know if that counts, but I think it counts, and I'll explain why. All right, let's waste no time. I had a solid 6 that I wanted on here. I had to leave one off. It was tough. 5 and 6 were like, And I finally settled on my number 5, which is Midnight Meat Train. Now, this one is a fun one. Don't know if you've seen this one or not, Josh. I've actually probably only seen it 3 times. I need to watch it more. But I remember being really, really surprised by it when I rented it. I'm waiting for my daughter to just fall off this damn shit. I remember renting it, and it really, was kind of like, I felt like a serial killer movie, and it really felt, like your basic movie, except, took place on a train a lot of the time. But there was a little something extra. It had Bradley Cooper in it, and this was kind of before he popped. Stop touching that, please. And, it was just fun seeing Bradley Cooper in the role. And then, of course, by the end of it, I can't reveal it, but there's a big, I don't know if I should say twist. I mean, it's a twist, but it's something that flips the movie on its head and makes you think about everything completely differently, and you're like, what the fuck? And it might lose some people. Some people might be like, okay, this is ridiculous, whereas other people like me are going to eat it up. Overall, it's just a fun, unique horror movie with some good actors in it, actually, even though I think it's a little lower budget. And it is just a good overall fun time if you're into that type of messy, crazy horror movie. Midnight Meat Train at number 5. Number 4, Under Siege 2. Yes, Josh, it made the list. And if I was a kid, I'm telling you right now, this would be number 1. Still love the movie, but I'm actually surprised at how much I love the top 4. The 5th one, Midnight Meat Train, debatably I love it, but it's right there. It's cool in its own way. Probably like a 7.5. The top 4 are cream of the crop to me. And number 4, Under Siege 2 had to fall here. I actually, for the longest time, and maybe even still do, actually like Under Siege 2 better than Under Siege 1, even though I'm a big sucker for Tommy Lee Jones. Under Siege 2 just amped it up another notch to me with the martial arts violence. Maybe there's a bit more of the seriousness that made Under Siege like maybe Seagal's most popular movie that works so well because of people like Tommy Lee Jones that kind of elevated it. Gary Busey, of course, in his prime, he just would make an action movie that much more crazier just because of how crazy he was. But the second one, man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of The People Under the Stairs and the actor that played the main guy in that. He also was in, I'm a big fan of any horror movie. You already know that. He's also in Silver Bullet. I forget the actor's name, but he was a really good character actor back then. And because of movies like this and the other 2 I named and a few others, he always stood out to me, man. And I really loved him as, like, not the main bad guy, but he's the bad guy that handles the main bad guy's shit, as he's more of those smarts, and then he is more of, I'm going to fuck you up. I thought he was good in the movie. I really think their fight scene, or Seagal's fight scene with him in the kitchen, like he said, even makes one of those stupid 90s puns that works so damn well. Just like nobody can mess with me in the kitchen or something fucking stupid like that. But it worked so well back in the day and still does for me. But there's like a rule. Like once you exited the 90s, those puns were not allowed anymore. They're just cringe. But in the 90s, mainly early 90s, late 80s, those fucking puns, you're like, I love how stupid this shit. I mean, come on, dude. You were talking about, you posted even the meme, the meme where it says something like, I'm trained or some shit. I forget exactly what it says there. I know, and I think it's Hard to Kill. I think that's your favorite Seagal movie, actually, where he does just like, I'm going to take you to the bank, the blood bank. Like, all those lines were so good. My favorite would probably be a Mark for Death, but that's a whole nother list. Let's do a top five Seagal quotes, Josh. Maybe I have to do that shit. But yeah, Under Siege 2 is just a fun action movie. Probably a little underrated and gets overshadowed by the first. Seagal in top form for maybe one last time in this one. Under Siege 2 is great. At number 3, I'm going to have to kick it over to Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. And this is just a fun sci-fi thriller movie, and you kind of pick up the pieces as it goes. You don't really know exactly what's going on, but you're just picking up piece by piece by piece by piece. And I love that in a movie, where it's not like you find out necessarily at the end, not that you don't find anything big out the end, but you got to pick up the pieces the entire time. There's something to that always keeps me interested. Stop touching that, please. Here, put the pen. I don't know where the pen went. But you just always are trying to figure out what the next move is, the next step is. Basically, this bomb on this bus just keeps exploding over and over and over again, and Jake Gyllenhaal keeps waking up at the beginning of it, and he's starting to predict like what happens at this point, because he's woke up in the same reality over and over again, and every time it ends in the train exploding. And he only has a certain amount of time, and the more and more he does it, he figures out more and more how much time he has, and he's on the train with somebody he supposedly knows that's a girl, and she, you know, like the only way anything changes is if he changes course. Like if he just stayed the same, it would stay the same, because she's saying the same stuff, the same exact lines, people are doing the same stuff, walking by, like somebody drops something, he catches it because he knows what's going to happen, and the guy's like, wow, quick reflexes, and he's just trying his best to figure out what he's in, what's going on, and how to solve this problem before maybe the bomb goes off for good. And he realizes he's there for a reason. Source Code is a damn good sci-fi action movie that has a lot of twists and turns, and it's definitely worth your time if you've never seen it. It goes for Josh or anybody watching the video. Number 2, I'm going to have to go with Train to Busan, man. I don't want to harp on it too much because we have a whole review for it. It's actually our most viewed YouTube video. We're still trying to get up our YouTube shit, but that was one of the few of them that actually popped. I know they're talking about making an American remake soon, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm always the guy that's like, who cares if it's a remake? This is like one of the few I'm like, ugh. You know, a lot of those remakes that are American remakes of ones from other countries, oh my God, they just do not do that good of a job. They don't have the best track record, and it's going to be hard to top this one, but you know what? We'll see. It's got some pretty good people assigned to it. But as for, you know, the first one, Train to Busan is just, I mean, it's got to be objectively, if you've seen the fucking movie, it's one of the best zombie movies ever. It has everything. It's not just the way the zombies are. They're scary, they're running, they're rabid, they're changing at the blink of an eye before you can even blink or think. Everybody around you zombies. They're vicious, amazing characters, which you don't always get in these horror movies. I mean, amazing characters. Not just the lead. There's at least like a handful of people you're just like, God, I hope they all make it. And just, oh my God, just being trapped on a train with zombies like that. And they have to get off the train too a couple times, and that is just as intense. It's you know, it's everything. It's a little claustrophobic. It's a little, you know, out in the open too, and they're outside just seeing what they're capable of and like how many in numbers they do have, the fucking wasteland that it's become. It's just, it's amazing. It really is amazing what they did with that movie, and most of all, the emotion behind it. The emotion behind it is something else. Like, you would not expect that from a movie like that. Like, that movie got me in my feelings. I teared up. I was like, God. Pull it together, Brandon. Pull it together. It's one of those things where it really does get under your skin and makes you cry, dude. It makes you look like a little bitch if you follow it. Of course, it's subtitles. It's subtitles. Trying to, like, you know, not yell at my daughter, but like use other words. You hear my voice raising and other things I'm saying because I'm getting fed up with this. This kid. Sometimes you just want to. Nah, she's all right. But the subtitles are something that some people might or may have to get over. I know some people don't like subtitles, but trust me, it's worth the trip. it's worth the ride if you can dig in. And I can't imagine anybody. I mean, it's one of those movies. I can't imagine anybody walking away from it like, it was all right, or there's a piece of shit. Like, it's one of the, I can't fathom it. Like, if you see this movie, I don't know how you don't fall in love with it. It's one of those. Train to Busan's great. Then my number one, and it also does happen to be my number one because it's my favorite movie on this list. Well, I don't know. Train to Busan, it's a close one. That one's moving up my rankings. Number one is Fruitville Station. Now, there's really only, Fruitville Station is a train station, so it's got that in the title. Okay, 1 point for me. Number two, it takes place in a train station at the end, which is what everybody's watching the movie for. They're trying to get to the main event, which takes place at the train station. And I get, some of it takes place on the train, and then a lot of it happens right outside the train station. But the train and the train station are the most integral part of the movie, and it's based on a true story about Oscar Grant, played by Michael B. Jordan. Maybe the best role he'll ever do. It was amazing. Great actor, from the Creed film, shit like that. But he was so great as Oscar in that movie, bringing a humanity to that role, making us really feel for him. And for the people that don't know what happened to Oscar Grant, he was shot by a cop because he was basically, dude had a knee, one cop had a knee on his neck, and the other cop shot him in the back. Because the one cop was like, get up right now, and he couldn't get up because the other cop had a knee on his neck. And he's like, I'm trying, man, I'm trying. And the other cop shot him right there in the back, and he died shortly after. Like, he went to the hospital, didn't make it, whatever. And it's just a horrible, tragic story. And Fruitvale isn't a long movie. It's probably like right at 80 minutes, maybe 82 minutes. And it's just about the last day in the life of Oscar Grant, leading up to that tragedy that is coming, and just getting to know that the man that he was. And then, of course, at the end, it shows like real footage of like people going there. And I've seen like the behind the scenes because I'm such a big fan of the movie, how it was like really heavy for even Michael B. Jordan, because he's over there like in the real spot Oscar got shot, and he's over there like acting it out as if he's Oscar, and the bullet hole's like right next to his head. I mean, it is some heavy, deep stuff. And the emotions that come out in that movie, talking about emotions again, it'll rip your heart out, man. It is such a sad tale. And then, of course, the police officer, I believe, got off. He said that he thought he was pulling his taser. It was really a gun, just sounds like a load of bullshit to me. But, yeah, it's a sad story, man. So if y'all have not seen any of these movies on a train, watch them. Damn it. I really can't imagine. I take that back. Let me say, Train to Busan, Source Code, Fruitville Station. If you haven't seen those, you're slipping times a million. I don't see any way you could dislike that. Midnight Meat Train and Under Siege 2. A little more of niche movies, but there's a good chance you'd love those two if you haven't seen them. I mean, come on. Everybody just hates Seagal now. You still my dog. Me and Josh, we still on that Seagal train. We love some Steven Seagal. Y'all need to wise up now. No, I'm just playing. I know he's done a lot of fucked up shit, but damn, did he have a good run in the 90s. Late 80s, too. Above the law. Damn. All right, guys. Well, this has been my top 5 movies that took place on a train, or however Josh worded it. Whatever. I did it. I finally did it. I think you asked this one other time, and I thought about doing it, and then I never got around to it. But I appreciate the top 5 suggestion, bro. Yeah. Shoot me some more on next Thursday. Maybe those Seagal lines. Fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Why not? That'd be some shit. I literally be sitting there like, I never thought I'd be making a YouTube video with the best Seagal lines, but here I am. Yeah. Now I'm just painting a picture. I'm just saying. I'm putting it on the tee. I'm waiting for you. I don't want to influence anybody. I don't really think he'd really do it, but the more I think about it, I'm like, this motherfucker might do that. No, I'd love it, honestly, but yeah. Just y'all in general, just keep killing it, man. The group is growing. I see we're at 1.1 thousand now. I think it's even more than that, though, because for some reason, when I get on Facebook, mine's behind. And Tyler said we're on 1.1K. like 3 weeks ago, and mine's just now saying that. So I don't even know where the group is. It gets a little harder when you get into the thousands and all that shit. But we're trying to keep growing, man. Keep growing the channel, keep growing the group, keep growing it all. Of course, follow us on Spotify at Official Box Office Banner. Follow us on Instagram at Official Box Office Banner. Follow us on YouTube at Just Box Office Banner. Just Box Office Banner there. And then, of course, on Project Louder, the Facebook page, we have our videos posted up there. That's typically where, if you see our videos, we post from there. Of course, this video, Top 5 Thursday, comes from YouTube because it's a YouTube exclusive. And then, of course, finally, check out projectlouder.net, the podcast network that we work for. A lot of great podcasts on there, some great merch, all that other stuff. Some really good stuff cooking up over there, guys. So check out all that shit, man. Love y'all. For real, for real. Can you say, I love you? Can you say, Uno? I think she kind of said it, but I don't have time. I can't put up with it. Can I reach it? We got the shit in a weird position here. All right, guys, be real. One love.